turn us this way. What do you think? That's not good. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go this way. Well, this is the final night of the comic room here at this house. It's in reverse again. I'm too tired to care. It's almost 10:30 on Sunday night. I am packing like crazy. And of course, comic room is the last to get packed. So, hey out there, whoever just joined. So, it's been a busy week. I haven't done a ton of comic book stuff. I looked at a few things on eBay, but I'm not actively buying it since I'm moving. I didn't think it'd be a good idea to buy stuff and then have to come back here and you know, hate books kind of thing. So looks like my internet's a little jittery. That might be because I was just monkeying around with the rack downstairs. But I just thought I would do a quick weekend review. Live. I've never done it this way before. It does look very jittery, so sorry about that. I don't know quite what's caused. Anyway, my most valuable books are right here, and those are the most. But my most fire, and I could only grab one box. It'd be that box right there. My day 74 to probably about 78-ish, I'd say. The books that I kind of call my landfill collection. It's only about 200 books. They're well loved. They were read all over my neighborhood. When I was a kid, we used to take them everywhere. Me and my brother and my cousin. So it's those mean more to me than this box of really good stuff here. I could show a few of these in the short box. I'm sure it's more interesting. Got a great Swamp Thing #9 that I picked up in Charlotte. It's got Bernie Wright's. That was kind of a cool find. This one's probably not worth very much, but I love it. The $6 Million Man. And I think I showed all these before. This is a good one. This is Fantastic Four 25, and I like this because it was the second appearance of Captain America, a Silver Age appearance. The real Captain America, not that fake one they tried to get us with. These are some great books here. You know, it's tough. I do love all these books. All-Star Western. That'll be making the move. Spider-Man 102. And, of course, 101. Nice copies, both of them. This is one of my all-time favorite Batman covers. I'm not a huge Batman fan. I love that image. I love his story too, at least the story that they did in the animated series. I met Mike Zeck a few years ago, and I got him to sign this for me. It's got my two favorites on it, Cap and Deathlock together. It was a great 3-issue series. It's got the old Mike Zeck thing on the back. That was pretty cool. I like where he signed it. Not too obtrusive. Just a really nice drawing of Deathlock. Not as good as Scott Johnson's, of course, but pretty good. Oh, this is a great one. This was my first unboxing video, I think, was this very comic book right here. Tales of Suspense 58, where Cap first shows up in the book, and then a month later becomes co-host, I guess you'd call him. So those are some good books. What else we got in here? That's kind of fun. Giant Size X-Men 2. This was my introduction to the X-Men. I got this at a store called Dawes. It's a drugstore back in the 70s. So after I read that, I realized that that was kind of reprints of older issues. And I kind of got into the X-Men a little bit. I remember I found issue 93, I think it was. And I got 90,000, the one that I showed in the video that I just gave back to him. This is just a great cover. Fantastic Four 112. And it's actually in here. This is my favorite battle between the two of them. I think it's the most real, at least it seems to me. And I love the artwork. Yeah. It's another one I just love the cover on. Detective Comics with Man-Bat. I think it's something about a moon. If it's nighttime, and it's a moon cover special, I really like them. Forever People 1. I've had several copies of this. I think I've sold 2, maybe 3 already. This is a cool one. This is one that was gifted to me by Anthony Reaper Tate. Red cover, Kirby Thor. 153. Really cool. Well, there's only 3 out there, so thanks for being up late with me. I don't know you. Is it 615 Comic Guy? Is that your area code? Or your birthday? These are some good ones too. Black Panther. That's my favorite of the run right there, that cover. I think that cover is just totally awesome. Went from bad to worse for him right there. And then I have the trilogy all lined up here. I did a live unboxing of this one, Fantastic Four 48. And then when I was in Charlotte, I picked up 49, which I think is superior. Cover and the interior story. You get full Galactus in this. I think he's, to me, the scariest villain of them all. Thanos, I guess, but that's just, he seems over the top. And this is another great, this ends the story. The weird thing is, back then, this one in particular, they didn't always seem to end stories in order. Like if it started in the story, we wouldn't start saying 48. They continued, or they finished a story that was in 47, and I think it was roughly maybe page 10, maybe 11. They actually started off the new storyline. This is one of my favorite books in my collection. My buddy Mike, who's in videos a lot with me, made this custom book. He knew I was after Justice League 19, and he got it for me. And then he had an old case that he put together, and he made an obvious counterfeit label, but it's hysterical. The funniest part to me is that it says white pages on it. This is not really a 10, but it sure looks like it. And it's kind of scary what could happen. But he gave it to me on my birthday, so there's the card on the back I saved. But that was a really cool gift. All in all, though, this Justice League is a great cover. If you look closely, you can see they're uncostumed down here and then across the street again. So this isn't them actually boarding the rocket, but just one of my favorite covers. It's beautiful. And, you know, having Mike do that for me was pretty cool. There's this book. Yeah, this thing's just laying around. It's super nice. I got that from Scott. Really happy with it. This was my really this book when I first got back into collecting, 2012, 2013, around there. This was a book I targeted, and I'm glad I got it. I bought it as a 4.5, and then Mike and I worked on it and got it up to a 5.5. But this is one I'll keep, and it's the first real appearance of Captain America in the Silver Age. Not to be confused by this imposter, which was the Acrobat. But this is still a cool book to have too. I call it the tryout book because they put it out there to see if people were interested in Captain America. It seems like they did that about every 10 years. They tried to bring him back. Yeah, I got the log issue recently too. Funny as hell. Got a buckler signed here. This was my Man Up copy of a comic book right here, Silver Surfer. It's a super thick slab too. It's like probably 5/8 thick. This is a book everybody loves, of course. And I still say it's his second appearance, but the internet and people buy and say otherwise. That's pretty much it. This is my copy of X-Men 94 that I have. It's a 5/5. I really do think it's much better than that. I just think it was a harsh grading day. It really, the only defect is it has a pretty bad ding up here in this corner, but the corners are all sharp. If I resubmitted this, who knows, it could come back as 7.0. There's sometimes you get one that doesn't get graded very well, and it's just you gotta live with it, I guess. So anyway, no homework today. Organize your comics. It makes it a lot easier to pack. Odd thing is, so I've run out of boxes, and I guess that means I purchased more since I stopped buying boxes than when I took them out of the boxes and I started filling the file cabinet. So, um, for those of you that don't know, that's how I keep my collection. I keep them in a filing cabinet, and then I use these vinyl white tabs to keep track of everything. Oh, that's a great cover there. This is one of the first comic books I ever saw. Twilight Zone, May. I don't know what the issue is, but I always loved the Twilight Zone TV show, and the host, Rod Serling, grew up in Syracuse, which isn't too far away from me, which is just fantastic. It's a great cover, though. It's the Gremlins. But I love that comic book. It's one of the first comic books I remember seeing. But it's getting pretty late, so I have watched a lot of videos this week. I kind of put them on in the background when I was packing, or if I was at the new house working on stuff, I'd have it just kind of sitting up on a counter or whatever. I have one of those little, looks like an animal, like a pig almost, only its head is a suction cup. Stick it to the back of the phone, and then I can hear you guys all in the background. Can't remember in particular, but there was a lot of fun videos this week. I watched, I think, like 3 or 4 RB3 videos in a row where he did investment analysis, which I think is really kind of fascinating when you look at it compared to books you think are hot, but then when you see it in the actual data, it's funny to see what really is hot. But I guess my homework and my sermon are tied together. Definitely get organized if you're not. I think I've done it in the past, but going through this move and packing for when it's moved, you know that there's always a sorting process that goes on, I guess I'd call it. You'll open up a box or a toolbox, or you open up a cupboard, and there's just random stuff